Keep your phone with you in case she... Okay, we're live, and it's just us. Danny's not with us yet. She had an unplanned last-minute location change, so hopefully she'll be joining us in a few minutes. Do you want to check your DMs real quick?
Okay.
And in the meantime, I'll try to vamp about cover art. And so Danny has done
Several covers.
several covers for us now. The first cover we worked with her on was Marionette by Antonio Rachel Ward, and then she did was the next one Merciless Waters?
I think the next one was
by Ray
Merciless
Knowles,
Waters,
and then City of Snares
City
by
of
April Yates.
Yep.
Scissor Sisters, which was edited by Ray Knowles and April Yates, and then the last one is
Lies That Bind, which is coming out pretty soon.
Tomorrow.
It
comes out tomorrow by Ray Knowles and April Yates. You may see a theme here, but she's done our last several covers, and just to plug her as a cover artist, she is incredibly easy to work with and very professional, and puts a lot of fears and worries at ease. Ask the right questions to help you kind of get to what you're after and what you like and what you don't like in a certain sketch, and to help you get the end product that you're really interested in. She does covers and full wraps, and we've used her for the full wraps, I think, in all the books.
Yes.
So I really can't recommend her enough.
Yeah, she's a fantastic artist and person to work with.
Right, as a cover artist, if you're looking for one. I will attempt to perhaps share her website link in the chat, so you have it. Hi, Cindy. I'm glad you can make it. I think, yeah. So that's her website. Interesting how it shows up twice.
Yeah, it does that, but
right.
It's okay.
So,
yeah.
So, we were going to talk about AI with Danny. I'm not an artist, but so I have my personal opinions that you shouldn't use AI instead of a cover artist. And as AI changes, it can be difficult sometimes to detect when it's used and not used. We had kind of a recent thing where we were using a particular product to AI check and it suddenly popped that all of the covers that we had were artificially generated, and it turns out that there was something wrong with that particular program. But we had quite a square one day, as did 3 or 4 artists we reached out to that same week. That was kind of I think it was.
We had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, I think it turned out to be something in Adobe Photoshop that had changed or acting differently. But it was a nerve-wracking week for a lot of us, not just us. But
yeah, that was a lot of fun, and it was. I can't remember exactly, and neither of us are real up to date technically on the jargon and everything, but something to do, like she said, with Adobe, and also some of the features of Photoshop was coming up as potential AI, and it was actually posting 95%, and we knew that those particular works were not AI at all. So
right, at least we believed it.
Yeah.
Right, so we reached out to the artists and had some good conversations, and I think figured out what the common denominator was, and it was something with Adobe that was causing some trouble. But so that's really all I can say about it, other than it is what you put into it, and unfortunately the only way to put into it is to put in other existing work, which I think opens up a huge can of worms about ownership of work and copyright and ethics, even besides the law, because I think it'll take a while for the law to catch up. But I think it brings up a lot of ethical questions. And I mean, I think anytime there's change, there's kind of the situation where it's, change is bad. And I think sometimes change is bad. I don't think I want to live in a world where art is completely replaced by computers. And the same thing about writing. I don't really want to read a book that's generated off of a bot that learned how to write from mimicking other writers. I just feel like I would rather read the original writer.
Agreed.
So,
yeah, because no matter how good any kind of software gets on that, you're still not going to get the passion and the inspiration and the creativity that a real writer will bring to it. And
she's trying to get in.
Okay.
But I think she may be stuck. Just bear with us, guys.
Bear with us. We should have Daniella here pretty soon.
Right.
We're having some technical difficulties, so we'll try to keep on talking with you here about it. So,
well, in the meantime, we could talk a little bit about the books that have come out, because the thing that all of these have, the books that Danny's done the covers for, that all have in common, which wasn't intentional, is they kind of all intercept horror and erotica in some way, or romance and horror in some way. And
that's true, all four of them.
It wasn't intentional that way. And we certainly have others that she didn't do, but that's just kind of interesting. And I think her art really lends itself to that. I don't see her in the, let's see, ready? I clicked the link. All right. It could be the internet where she is slow. That could slow her down.
Knock on wood, we'll get there. So, and we do have her working on at least one other cover, and probably more now that are not erotic horror.
Right. One is a Western horror, right? That comes out later this year.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to that one too.
I'm just sending her some more directions. I don't see her yet. Hi, Marianne. So, Danny's trying to log in where she is. She kind of had a last minute location change, and I think maybe there's a big difference sometimes in internet speeds when you have to use wireless, and StreamYard may be struggling to pick her up. So hopefully we don't have to vamp too much longer, because I don't think people really turn in to listen to the Steve and Heather show. But I think that her art really is adaptable to fantasy, horror, romance, sci-fi, general literature, like across the board.
Right.
But the covers she's done for us all have that kind of romantic or erotic element in some way, even though the books themselves can kind of be terrible in intent and character. So, and I think, the two latest examples are Scissor Sisters and Lies That Bind. And Scissor Sisters has a very beautiful pink pastel cover that has monsters nestled between the cover and the back, for sure. And so I think it's a very fun play on transition and opposite. And Lies That Bind definitely has a more wicked element to it.
Yes.
And the cover has a more wicked that I think kind of gives it a more sinister feel. So, but I think that just really demonstrates Danny's artistic spectrum, that she can go from something soft to something creepier. I'm just going to see if it's a internet problem.
She's done some illustrations that get fairly dark too. I mean, I think across the board, like you said, she's very talented. I don't think there's any genre that she couldn't handle doing a cover for that matter.
I suspect this happened once before when we were trying to get on StreamYard from the side of the road, remember, in Virginia for something. And the Wi-Fi wasn't strong enough for us to generate ourselves into the studio. And I have a very bad feeling that wherever Danny is, the Wi-Fi isn't strong enough to pull her into the studio. Like, she can click the link, but I don't think she can enter the studio. I don't think it's fast enough. So, oh yeah, spinny loading thing. Yeah, I think that maybe her internet isn't fast enough. So here's what I think we do then is I'll have you reach out to Danny real quick, and let's reschedule. And because I'd love to have her on, and I'd love you guys to be able to ask her some questions and for her to be able to promote her own work.
Right.
But what do I look for when we're identifying new cover artists? For me, it's range of skill. Like, when I go to their website, I like to see, or if they submit me a portfolio, I'm looking for somebody who I think can easily move between a softer fantasy type of art to something very creepy crawly that will appeal to more hardcore horror elements in art. Because I figure she can do both sides of that spectrum. She'll be able to do he will be able to do anything in between. I also like an artist that submits sketches of 2 or 3 choices,
right,
for us to pick from, because it helps us figure out where we want to go with the cover. And we really feel like it's important that the author has input at the sketch level. And we often have the author give us some notes about what they're looking for in the cover, whether it's they want people on the cover, they want buildings, or some kind of scene from the book, what kind of colors they're interested in. And it doesn't always work out, but I feel like I want our authors to always love their covers, because I think when you love a cover and you're happy with the work, that it's easier for them to promote, like unintentional. And I don't mean intentionally, but like an unintentional, when you love your cover, there's kind of an unintentional allure that you have to wanting to show it off and being proud to put it on a table or take it to an event or give it to a reviewer that you meet kind of off the cuff. And so I think that it's always important to include the author.
Right. And, and tying it back to AI, that's a really good thing as far as making sure that no AI, is used in it, is when you have that ongoing back and forth with the artist. You see preliminary sketches, you see the initial designs. Well, there's no doubt in our mind that, this is totally created on the part of the artist. Whereas if all you ever see is a finished product, well, then you have, keeping up with stuff nowadays, you have to run a check on it. You have to make sure everything is good to go. So I do like being part of the process with them, in addition to everything else you said. So.
Right. So, anyway, so guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. And we're going to reschedule with Danny and try to get her on again sometime in the next 2 weeks. And we'll, of course, hit socials about it so you guys know, and the newsletter so you know when it'll be coming. So
hope all of you enjoyed the Steve and Heather show.
The Steve and Heather show for today.
We'll definitely try to have Danny on next time, and it'll be a lot more fun. So.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Bye.